Okay, we are live, Scott. We always do this in a big hurry, or not a hurry, just a with very little preliminary.
Yep.
What's up today?
Uh, let's see. What is up? Not a whole lot. Last Saturday, I went to the New World Con here in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, that looked like a fun little con. It was getting seemed to
It
be getting good reaction on social media
was fun.
that I saw.
I had fun. Oh, there were a few things I didn't like. I'm not going to complain about them because they tend to be more. I don't want anybody to take offense. I don't know if anybody local watches this. There were
Yeah,
a few things I didn't like, but yeah, it was pretty minor.
I think there's always a whole bunch of complaints after every con.
Oh, sure.
You know, it's kind of I think it's kind of impossible to run something like that. But
Sure. And yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, but I mean, I went and I bought dude, I probably spent quite a bit of money for a little con at the fairgrounds.
what was your biggest purchase, and then your smallest? Just to act like a
Well,
host.
I got a bunch of 50-cent comics, a bunch. I mean, um, the deal that I got in old comics, I picked up a copy of Hawk and Dove #2 for 50 cents.
Is that that was
Ditko.
Ditko? Yeah.
Yeah, I could not pass that up. Even though, I mean, it's rough. It's probably worth 50 cents, but I was like, yeah, you know what? I can't pass that up. And so I got that. And then the thing that I've been picking up lately. So, well, let me say this. So with the pandemic, comic conventions stopped in 2020.
Yeah.
And out of the blue, I got an email invitation. There was a guy that was coming through town, and he rented like a ballroom, or not a ballroom, more like a meeting room. It was very small, but it was a meeting room, and he was selling comics cheap. And you pay the first, and he would travel around we'll say the region, whatever that is, the region,
Uh-huh.
and he would rent out a hotel and go on social media and say, "Hey, I'm having this comic. Come buy comics." And I went to that, and so I thought it was really cool because I really miss, Ellis, the old conventions, like in the hotels, the old
Uh-huh.
hotel con. There was something about, I'm not talking about the good ones, or even like I went to New York one time. One time we went to New York on a work trip for my wife, and I went to I think it was I don't know if it was called the Big Apple Con or Golden Apple Con, and it was in the New York, Pennsylvania hotel or something like that, down by Penn Station.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of in their basement, and it was really cool. And because it was in New York, there was a lot of comic book people there, and I had a blast. And I missed that low key kind of comic show that's just selling comics. And New World Con was kind of like that. Now, I would prefer more comic. There was a lot of non-comics type stuff there too.
Oh yeah, there has to be nowadays. I mean,
Well,
it's almost like comics are like giving a nod. Yeah, we know you're there.
well,
You can come to the party too.
well. This was like, there was somebody there selling cell phone. I mean, I'm talking about just people there that you might see like at the fairgrounds or something.
Yeah.
Here,
Doing.
are you interested in siding? Let me talk to you about siding.
Yeah.
And I get it, but the owner has to. He's trying to fill up the convention center
Yeah.
or
He's
the.
trying to make his money back.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey man, if they want to buy, that's fine. I prefer more comic dealers there, but I've been buying out of that about the time that I went to that hotel con thing, which wasn't really a con; it was just a dealer's room, but.
Uh-huh.
Over the summer of 2020, I watched a YouTube video of what's his face? What's the comics? The original Comics Gate guy, not EBS, but the other guy.
Ethan Van Sciver?
No, the other guy.
Okay.
Oh God. Anyway,
I know nothing.
Anyway, he was talking about how much he loved the New Warriors.
Uh-huh.
And New Warriors came out at a time when I really wasn't reading that many comics. I don't know if I was reading. I don't know when they actually came out, but I was kind of blind to them. And so I saw some at that Hotel Con for cheap. I mean, like a buck a piece. So I bought like the first few issues or whatever. Bought a few, and I've kind of been picking up them up here and there. But I bought a bunch of them at that convention because they were 50 cents. So that was what I got, was a bunch of 50-cent comics. Then I got some trade paperbacks. The biggest, most expensive thing I bought was for, I think it was $35. I bought a hardcover kind of omnibus edition of Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man run, like the first 14 issues, I think.
Oh my, that I would be very interested in that, because I thought I had a false memory. There's bits of that run that I've seen excerpts from.
Yeah,
that was just cool, fun, wildly crazy gestural.
Yep.
Drawing of Spider-Man, and now every time I did a little search for it, it's like I'm either misremembering or I amped up what I thought I was seeing wildly gestural from him. And there's been so much of it since then that I'm not impressed with what he did. I think there's probably some he did at some point in the run where he just went crazy. And that's what I saw, where they were just like, he was just a in-air contortionist or something that was really fun.
I think he did some of that. Now, I haven't read that. Well, I'll tell you a story. So they recently came out with a trade paperback of that stuff, and it's kind of, I paid less for the hardcover than I did for the trade, but I ordered the trade from Amazon, and mine came in damaged. And so I contacted them, and they said, well, do you want to return it or do you want us to replace it? And I kind of flipped through it, and I was like, replace it. Let me return it. Well, the hardcover is a little oversized, and it was enough of a deal that I was like, you know what? I should, because like you, it's like, I should read this. I didn't read that stuff when it was coming out. I was into comics, but I've always preferred group books for some reason. Maybe I felt I was getting more bang for my buck.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But so I was not really a big Todd McFarlane fan at the time that he was, making his bones, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But we went to the Museum of Comic Art, or I went to the Museum of Comic Art in New York City a few years ago, and they had a Todd McFarlane exhibit there, and so I got to see some of his originals, and I was like, you know what, I sold this guy short,
Yeah, I guess he's another one of these guys that you can discount this, but right now I'm looking at a figure I've drawn that I feel like it's just slightly more informed, because I discovered this exercise on rings that has me working my pecs to where I see my pecs almost every evening. And it informs me slightly more of how to draw them. And McFarlane, like Frazetta, was one of these guys that was kind of a natural athlete.
Yeah.
And he was a baseball player.
Like Frazetta.
You like Frazetta. And, those guys, if you've got enough coordination to dodge a ball when it's coming right at your nose, come cracking off a bat, you've got, some of us don't. Some of us should stay off the baseball field.
Oh, absolutely. I would step in front of a baseball, throwing baseball.
Oh, baseball is, when it starts getting hot, you realize, hey, man, a guy needs some reflexes out here.
Yeah, at church, they're talking about starting a softball league.
God. What a way to kill out of shape people. Let me tell you, I've
Yeah,
seen
no.
I've seen a lot of injuries. People think, softball. What could it?
Yeah, what? How bad
What could it hurt?
Golly, yeah, dude, I hurt when I get out of bed. What are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody at work goes, the 26-year-old guy in my room goes, man, I think I'm getting old. My shoulders are killing me when I got up. And I go, dude, you'll know when you're old because you'll be happy only one thing hurts.
I remember warming up some guy one time, and I just got lucky that I was kind of feeling good or whatever. But that guy would just routinely, he was there to really warm up his heat, and
yeah.
he would throw that ball, and it just occurred to me, hell, I can't even throw that fast. Just the release and everything that has to go on with a ball. I can throw a baseball, but it, a guy that does it a little bit and makes a point of developing the ability is just, he can shock you.
Yep. But anyway, so that was the big buy there. Was that Todd McFarlane thing?
Let's see. I just picked this up from the library because I was curious about it. This is all the hits I got for Jules Verne's Lighthouse when I watched the movie recently on Canopy of The Light at the Edge of the World with Kirk Douglas and Yul Brynner.
Okay.
And this book is pretty cool. It begins just the way the movie does, introducing us to the characters in the same way, but it is set as a totally futuristic thing of a crucial lighthouse that is positioned next to wormholes that without it, people would be, they'd be mashed up and killed, like at a lighthouse. And I'm thinking that I'm looking at, and no doubt I am looking at, 3D artwork that has been filtered, et cetera, touched up. And it's done well, though. And it doesn't feel too stiff or anything. It looks pretty good. And it looks like the writing's going to be fun. I just got started on it and looking forward to that. Cool. It does make me want to read the Jules Verne material. And in the back, the hype, it calls it one of the most popular Jules Verne books. No, it's not.
No.
If you look for it and try to find it, you can't find it. So it's like, no.
It's called 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, that stuff, Around the World in 80 Days, all that stuff, that's all you get when you start searching for it in the library and Amazon.
Right. I grew up in Yukon. I don't know if you're very familiar with Yukon.
I came out there to eat pizza with you guys one time.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
you had some sort of birthday or something.
No. That was in Bethany. That wasn't out in Yukon.
Oh, that wasn't Yukon? Okay.
No. So, anyway, I grew up in Yukon.
I knew where Yukon was.
You were on the way, though. You were
okay.
You were headed there. But anyway, I grew up in Yukon, and I as a kid, I read science fiction. But, man, the Yukon Library is pretty much funded. I don't know about now, but at the time was funded by private donations. And so it was I mean, it was a decent library, but it was small, and they didn't have like a science fiction section. But my mom told the librarian I like science fiction, and so she and the lady was probably in the late 70s, she probably knew Jules Verne. Let's put it that. I guarantee 80. She was probably 80.
No kidding.
70s,
yeah, sure.
And so she probably lived at the time of Jules Verne. Maybe. Yep. I don't know when he died.
Oh, yeah, anyway. He that book supposedly came out in 1903.
Right.
The original.
Yep. So she could have been around with that stuff. But anyway, she turned me on. So in our life they had a book of H.G. Wells and a book of Jules Verne stuff, and they had a lot of Isaac Asimov stuff and a lot of Robert Heinlein.
Mm-hmm.
and then they had some science fiction anthology. But as a kid, I read a lot of Jules Verne and H.G. Wells. That Victorian science fiction times, which is pretty cool. I mean, in some ways.
Oh yeah. That's what science fiction was at the time. They were. That's what Hollywood had to adapt. They would.
Right.
And they were we didn't realize it, of course, but they were doing their own, turning their teams loose on production design and stuff like that, to where, you are altering, George Powell is altering the concept of War of the Worlds. And, right away he says, tripods, schmipods.
Yeah.
I'm going to have hovering UFOs be my menace. And, so right away, you get a change, but you get it at the same time, something iconic that was really kind of cool,
Yeah.
It certainly had some of the more memorable sound effects I can remember. I think those things are, you probably used in everything.
So so another thing I bought on the way home, Dave and I stopped at a comic shop / anime shop / movie shop / memorabilia. I mean, just all kinds of stuff at the store. And they had a ton of DVDs, and I showed you. I picked up Streets of Fire, and I picked up, Phantom of the Paradise. In fact,
what Dave do when you bought that? He hated that movie during movie night at one time.
Did he?
He hated Phantom from the Paradise.
Well, he acted like if I didn't buy it, he was going to buy it. I'm not sure why.
That's odd. That's really odd.
I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. In fact, one of my employees, she watches movies with another employee on Thursday nights. They go over to this girl's house and watch movies every Thursday. And so I told her about it. And I said, I got a movie you should. I had lent her. What's the movie where with Elvis in the fights the mother? Oh, Bubba Hotep. I'd lent her. Have you seen that? Have you seen Bubba Hotep?
Oh yeah, I've seen Bubba Hotep. I thought you were about to name an Elvis movie, and I was about to help you out because I've seen just about all of them when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, no. I lent her Bubba Hotep, and they thought it was great. And so I said, I have another movie that you should watch. And I told her about it. She goes, yes, bring it. I want to buy. And then so I brought it. And they were just like, oh, my gosh, this looks so amazing. So I'm curious what their reaction is tomorrow.
Well, how old are they? That era. I mean, that era is so well Brian De Palma just threw himself into the glitziness of the pop promotion of that era.
No, well, they're not old enough to appreciate that, but
yeah.
I think they like cheesy kind of stuff. I think they'll enjoy it probably more than Dave did. Yeah. I liked it, and it was $3. I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah, I can't beat that.
Anything on film almost is worth $3.
Paul Williams, I think he could still show up at cons and get huge love for that for the most of his life. I'm not even sure if Paul Williams is still alive.
He did some Pixar stuff, so he'd get love for that for sure.
Yeah.
But and then Streets of Fire I picked up because I keep reading. I'm watching that Bubblegum Crisis. And apparently it was a big Streets of Fire was a big influence on the creators of that.
Walter Hill movie that is just nonstop keeping moving in that Walter Hill energy.
Yep. I don't know that I've watched a bunch of his stuff, but I like Warriors for The Warriors.
I can't believe his first directing effort is one of my favorite damn movies in terms of like macho, characters is Hard Times with Charles Bronson. My God, what a great movie.
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
Oh my gosh, Hard Times. Yeah, that one's worth tracking down. Look for that movie someday.
If I go to that store again, I'll look for it. They may have.
Yeah. I think I've got it. I own it on my Amazon
Oh yeah.
account. It might be in the library. You might be able to. It might be there. That's Hill's first movie, and of course, he did 48 Hours.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting
And
about
yeah, he had a hot period there. Well, he stayed hot. He was always a writer. He wrote the first adaptation of The Getaway that McQueen was in. It's interesting because I thought, wow, I wonder why everybody, Alec Baldwin trying to duplicate McQueen's Getaway. And I thought, well, of course, everybody's going to hate it. You are going to be comparing McQueen to, him all the way through it. So, it seemed like a dumb project. But then you look at the movie, I thought it might be closer to the original material, the Jim Thompson material. And then I watched the movie and it's like, my God, they just took the old script and did it again. It's like, why'd you do that?
Did I send you the picture of Steve McQueen I found in the downtown tunnels? I don't
Yes,
think
you shot through it. It was a closed office.
Yeah, in the for our watchers, I don't know if anyone's watching or not, but for our viewers, there's in Oklahoma City, there's tunnels downtown, and Ellis and I have been known to frequent them, just kind of hang out and draw and stuff. And I went down there a few weeks ago because the weather. I got out of work on a Friday, and the weather, it was supposed to be hot, but the weather's perfect. Mm-hmm. And I thought, golly, I got to go downtown and walk because I've been trying to walk. And I thought, well, I can go downtown and walk. Even if I just walk, to the library and back. I mean, I walked my 10,000 steps, and I went down there and I went down the tunnel, and I saw that picture, and it's in a building that has an elevator in the tunnel. They got kind of a little bitty lobby deal, and I just happened to look through the door, and the doors are metal, but it had a little window, and I looked through. It's like, hey, there's a picture of Steve McQueen with a gun sitting on a couch. So
that's interesting. Yeah, those tunnels are fun. You don't want to go when it's too wet and muddy, of course.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm trying to paint a radio picture of what the tunnels might be like. Yeah.
Picture. Well, they have been known to leak, but they're not muddy.
They do leak. Yeah, they aren't. Yeah. They aren't made out of mud and rock.
No. They're concrete and carpet and stuff like that. But
even have TVs pointing at you and playing every now and then.
Yeah,
got directions so you don't get lost. You get lost down there. I guess you get lost. I get lost.
Well, yeah, you could. When I was a kid, there was a lot of stuff down there. There's not near as much now.
Yeah, that's what's that?
Oh, I wanted to show you something.
Okay.
I checked. Oh no! I'm sorry, I didn't check this out. I bought this. I've had this for a while. I was good, but I was looking through it the other day. I've had this for a long time. I think I bought it cheap at a con. But look at this art, man. The story's crap. It's about 5 girls that live in New York City, and they're, making their way and all that rah.
Well,
look how good this art is.
There can be $1 million in that, in that story.
But I love the art. I think the art's really good. Now, there's things I don't like. Don't get me wrong. But I like the I was just looking across my bookshelves, and I pulled this off, and I was like, this art is really pretty nice.
That is nice.
I like the zipatone, and I like the what I like about it, and I've thought about this, and I like this about older comics because they don't do this much anymore. I like the cast shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Everything kind of has a thickness to it, especially on the clothing. Now this guy went nuts with clothing,
That's probably the reason
but I mean,
he's doing it.
Probably. Oh, I'm sure that they're like, if we're going to do this book, we've got to get the clothing right. I mean, everybody in here was obviously referenced out of some kind of magazine or catalog or something. Mm-hmm. But I love like stuff like the jacket, how he did like the wrinkles and stuff. And it's all all the cast shadows, it's nice line weights and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, the guy.
So it's obviously really heavily referenced here and there. He can obviously invent, but he's like that guy that works for Brubaker, Sean Phillips. Obviously Phillips is bringing in lots of reference. He might be able to lay out the entire thing by invention, but he's going to need reference to do what he does.
Yeah. Well, what I like about this is, boy, this guy does not phone any of this in.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at that double page spread. I mean,
nice.
And now what I don't like is it looks, and I don't know, I have no idea what its working process is, but to me it looks too digital, And I'm not talking about the Zipatone, because you can do Zipatone, but the Zipatone looks digital to me too. But
oh yeah, it's no doubt he's probably using whatchamacallit. What's the name of the program that is cheaper than Photoshop, but people that do comics love it.
There's Procreate.
Manga Studio.
Manga Studio. Yeah, that's what I used. Some of it I don't care for that look. Some about that look. I don't like his faces, I don't think. He draws them.
Well, they look, I can right there, hold on that for a second. The proportion is off. He's got the eyes socketed way too high. He's devoting more attention to the landscape of what goes on below the brow that throws his measurement off,
Oh, yeah.
Does he always do that? Yeah, that girl down there, same way.
That girl, yeah, obviously. What did in school they called that the cut off skull? Don't do the cut off skull.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. He's decided, whatever has pushed him to thinking he needs to have this feature just right where he's got it, and he might start with eyes. I don't know. You never know. A guy that is as competent and just masterful at inventing the character, like the guy that was in the studio. His name is going to come to me.
Bernie Wrightson.
No, Wrightson. There's Wrightson, Smith, Jones, and who's left? Because I can't think of it. Kaluta. Okay, there we go. Finally, thank you. That guy talks about how he starts with his process. He always started with the torso for his. Bridgman was his guy.
Yep.
But he could never he could never start with the head. I think if I remember reading that right, he just always had to start with the torso for his inventions.
If I start with the head, I end up making it too big.
Yeah.
And I have to shrink it.
Yeah. That head is too important to us as a symbol,
So this is what I don't like about this guy, and why I could never be a huge fan of his. Stuff like this, he's got this kitchen, he's got all this detail in it, and I just look at it and go, man, that is not in perspective. It's not. To me, that right there, it's a lot of detail, but he phoned it in.
Yeah. Well, he probably didn't have the exact reference he needed for that. Yeah.
Hang on. I'm gonna grab a kitchen
okay.
drawing that I like. Hang on. I know exactly where it's at. Hang on.
Okay, that's all right. Got plenty of time. I don't know if we've got plenty to say, but we got plenty of time until Google stops us, puts a stop to us. I listen to guys that like Sticks, Hex, and Hammer 666 and the Rageaholic. Mr.
I like the Rageaholic. I don't know who that is.
Oh, yeah. He does some of the best essays.
Okay, so have I ever showed you this, Ellis? This sheet of paper in my hand for this booklet?
Is it from Byrne?
It's John Byrne.
Yeah.
We were slow at work one time, and so I went through and this is from when John Byrne did Doom Patrol. I went through and I cropped out panels that I liked, and I made a little booklet. These are at the size they're drawn at, just to study his line work.
You bet.
And
wow, he did Doom Patrol, huh?
He did like a dozen or so issues of Doom Patrol.
Wow.
Not the original characters, unfortunately.
Yeah,
well,
not the
one of them
originals.
was Mega Man was in it, and Elastic. Well, I guess the original he added a few characters. Okay, I swear there's a kitchen shot in here somewhere.
I enjoyed
we
the Netflix thing they did on that show.
No,
those characters. Oh, is it HBO? No.
Yep.
Maybe. I somehow watched it.
Well, maybe it's on Netflix. You don't have HBO, do you?
No.
Well, here's a
and I also don't have AMC. That's what's missing tonight. We haven't talked about. That's what I should have named it. I should have called it Better Call Gene or something like that. We need to talk about that tonight a little bit.
We absolutely do. So here's a kitchen I do like. I thought there was, in my memory, there was more to it than this, but there's not as much stuff as this kitchen. I don't know if you can see that, but and it's bigger and there's less stuff, but it's all in perspective. This is, I like this better than this. This is too busy and too. Anyway, okay, that's enough of.
Well, the deal is for me on stuff that is fully rendered like that as part of your background, it's like there was just a moment where someone wasn't able to take the next level and say what needs to be in this shot. It's like the script calls for a kitchen and they just went, okay, here's a kitchen.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, I'm going to put this perfect silhouette of a microwave in it, and that's all that you will require to know you are in a kitchen. Or, just stage it with the classic foreground, midground, background in terms of like thinking about what needs to be in there, and then what's the most important thing in the panel. And it's like, hey, if you haven't done that, if you haven't figured out what needs to be the most important thing in the panel, it's like you're probably going to work hard on a panel that just didn't need all that work,
And you're telling me,
and it's not. It's not an aversion to work. It's just like it'd be so much better if your reader was just treated to staying story centered,
Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still working on this Phantom Lady Daredevil story, and
Ruby, it's looking cool.
Yeah, I'm getting. Well, I this is page 7. I'm about done with it. I was looking at 8, my thumbnails for 8, and I'm like, what in the world was I thinking? What I drew, what I thumbnailed was nothing, and man, the last 2 pages are just exposition. It's like, oh man, why did they waste so much energy doing that? It's like, you have them fight for 2 more pages. Like, but anyway.
I agreed to do this. Why did I do that?
Well, we kind of talked about anyway. Okay, let's talk about Better Call Saul.
Okay. Yeah, that it's been a trip seeing how it's winding up. I don't know if we'll verge into spoilers much. I guess we will.
Yeah, if you haven't seen
it'd be hard. If you haven't seen it, don't listen to us.
Yep, exactly. You've been warned. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Watch it. Listen to us or watch us after you watch Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Because you should really be watching it.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. The character of Gene, he snapped. Basically, he was always ready to snap, but this guy that confronted him and tried to push him around. Which the casting change of that guy, that cab driver. I wish they hadn't changed that guy. I forget there may be some details about that.
He had a deal to do something else.
That's it, huh?
Yep.
Wow. I wouldn't let too much push me away from doing on that Better Call Saul role.
But he's got a bit role here, and he apparently is the lead in some other show.
Okay. Well,
In between, he tried out for some show that got picked up or something.
Huh. Okay.
But I think he seems like the guy before seemed a little crafty.
Oh yeah, crafty and kind of dangerous looking. Yeah.
This guy does not put off that vibe at all.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He puts off the vibe of can I go get my mommy?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it changes the dynamic because so did he threaten Saul? He never threatened Saul though.
No, but he lurked over him and stuff like that in just a totally different way than this guy's personality is presented.
Yeah.
He brought his big hulking friend, which I'm not even sure that may have been recast. I'm not sure, but maybe not. I don't know. Surely all of them didn't decide not to come back for it. But,
so Gene is back,
mm-hmm.
and we've seen kind of this progression in time, which they left Saul behind pretty quick. I guess after Kim left him, he just went off on the deep end on the dirtbag lawyer routine.
Yeah, they just showed montages saying, "You remember Saul? Well, he became this guy," and then they started using this switching back and forth method of keeping us in touch with Saul here and there, but mostly Gene just lately,
which is good. I like Gene. At this point, I'm one thing I didn't realize. I think I told you this in the email. In my brain, I never thought when he was Gene, he was in that much danger. But in the last episode, we get the impression that there are people looking for him still.
Well, yeah, but is it just the cops? I mean, is he just worried about his life ending because the cops will give him his new jail life, or what? What does he most fear? Does he fear the cartels? I don't know.
Should he fear what did he do for the cartels to fear him?
I don't know. Obviously he was in on knowing about Lalo. He has no knowledge of Lalo. Isn't it Lalo, the guy that shot Howard right in his room? Isn't that Lalo?
Yeah, Lalo.
Lalo, yeah. I think that's who shot Howard. But he's got no knowledge that Gus blasted him in his underground, soon-to-be meth lab.
I think he's hiding out more as part of this because think about it. In the Jimmy persona, like we've seen in all the shows so far, he moved into Saul, and he really wasn't in hiding till after Breaking Bad in the Gene persona. So I think whatever went down, and I've watched Breaking Bad, but I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of fuzzy about the end of it.
Yeah.
And I know he went into hiding, but I thought it was from the cops. I didn't think he was that worried for his life necessarily. I thought he was just hiding from the cops.
It just seems like he wouldn't care. He, as a lawyer that is, so facile with everything, doesn't seem like he'd be that. I've got to study this now. I've got to find out what he is worried about. But as a lawyer, he might, just face that as a challenge. Like, hey, you're not putting me in jail, whatever.
Right.
So, I would think.
To me, his actions seem a little bit overblown.
Mm-hmm.
But
and given just chunking your money at that Robert Forster character, the guy that sells vacuum cleaners. I think that's what he does. Yep. I guess we've seen the last of him. I can't imagine them reinserting him again. They got one more good use out of him. Yeah.
Well, I don't. When that guy found him, he kind of he called him about possibly doing something. But is all of his money gone?
Apparently, his former secretary says, I'm sure you've got some. You know,
Yeah.
like she knows he made off with something. And that also shows you that there's just no point in running these cons that he's running. Probably that
Well,
is.
that's my thing. Why is he? If he's scared for his life, I thought in the episode before that he was just doing it to get this guy off his back.
Yeah,
but he keeps doing stuff apparently.
Well, I think that was his. He had to show himself he was genius enough to get these jerks off of him. But then all of a sudden it became like, now you're my crew. Because basically with that taste of it, it's like, okay, I've made enough Cinnabon to last me. I've got to be doing something.
What's funny about this is I'm always telling people at work that if my job there goes bad, I'm gonna go manage a Taco Bell somewhere.
I tell you what, these food management places that actually get traffic, that's some big salaries. They pay you for that stuff.
Oh, I looked it up. A store manager at Taco Bell can make $160,000 a year.
Good God, y'all!
Yeah, I know.
Just send in grief
about it. I should do it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there'd be a lot of down to it.
Yeah. Oh. Well, yeah. They're not paying you that because it's easy.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. They pay the good wages for those hard jobs. But
they would own you. But I also go, would I? How much crap do I have to deal with in my day job? I wouldn't have to deal
anyway.
with
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so I wonder about why. I don't know if he's the manager. I mean, the implication is he's not making any money. It's certainly not what he's used to.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe I don't know. I don't know if he's just like, I got to get back into life, but surely with these jerks, he cannot steal enough to finance a Saul lifestyle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so they're stealing leather jackets and that sort of thing. And so you almost get to the point, and which has been his kind of thing all along, is he just enjoyed getting up for people.
Yeah, he's not changing his lifestyle. So the point is he can't, otherwise it becomes something that's showy and draws attention. He can't live beyond his means, so there's no point in it.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I've always said. If you ever came into a lot of money like that,
mm-hmm.
illicit means or whatever, the thing to do would just be sock it away somewhere and don't be flashy about it. Just, so you pay cash for all your groceries, or use it for stuff you would normally use for cash that no one notices. And, you
obviously thought this through a lot. You've got some sort of mental thing where you're going to go off and go to the dark side. I can tell.
No, I would in a heartbeat. No, then I would end up managing Cinnabon.
If you found a big box of money, like they used to say on Mr. Show, there was some guy that was always on. He broke some sort of record on being on the introduction of Bad Boys. The other guy, not Odenkirk, the other guy, he was always on the introduction of. They were always arresting him on Bad Boys, and and his ambition was to find a big box of money someday.
Oh yeah.
Odenkirk on Mr. Show has got something. I found it. I'll send you the link if I can find it, where he presages the whole concept of Better Call Saul. He talks about he had a little thing of a law office, but and you can tell he's just a kid in it, so it's got nothing to do with something that's actually happening in in a parallel happening. You know, this is well before the thing.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's just interesting. They would talk the plot points in the Mr. Show. Yeah, I'll send that to you. So anyway, the show is just, you know, what with two left. It's got people going about like, okay, where will this go? And you've got to, you know, you've always got to think about those disappointments of Lost and all that. We don't want this show to disappoint us. We want it to.
No, you got to stick to the landing.
Yeah, you got to stick to the landing, just like Breaking Bad did with Baby Blue. You know, what an ending. You know, it's like Walter dying at the base of a bunch of vats, leaking his blood. You know.
Yeah. It will be interesting. Do you think Kim comes back?
I wonder if she makes a physical appearance at any. I said that that tantrum that he threw might be upon learning she had died in some way or other. You know, that he might have called and says, "I'm sorry, she's no longer here, and I'm very sorry, but she died." Blah blah. You know.
I think he would have been. No, maybe not. He was mad. He was mad, not.
Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't destroyed by anything. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was her going go away. I've moved on.
Yeah.
That's what I. And I don't.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, maybe. You know, her saying that to him would do that, maybe, or not being. You know, being having some messenger deliver a message that says she doesn't want to talk to you. That sets you off. So I don't know. You know, I mean, the next one is called Waterworks, and she works for some sprinkler outfit. So obviously, something's going to happen that involves her.
Working for a sprinkler outfit. She's a lawyer. Did she lose her law?
She gave it up. She renounced it. She actually said,
"Oh, that's right." I had that in my mind. I was thinking he renounced it. He didn't renounce it. She did.
Oh no! He had a long career after her. She gave hers up.
Why did I think that? I didn't think that through.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
she gave it up, and she is on her. What does she do? She was always into helping people in some way, but was she only helping people because she knew that, you know, she had such a dark side when she was hooked up with Jimmy that she had to balance it out, or what, you know? And that's what she's doing. And there are people, you know, it's like, you know what you need to do, sweetie? You need to get away from that guy. And, you know, it's very accurate. If you stay around certain influences, you'll never be the person that you could maybe be, you know.
I have a friend like that, and you know, it's funny. I mean, and you know, it's funny. He's kind of a druggy guy, not really, but kind of.
Oh, that's just awful, you know.
Oh, and man, everywhere he goes to work, it's like, oh yeah, I met this guy and he's selling me pot now. You know, and it's like, no matter what he does, he's all. It's like there's an internal radar where dirtbags can find other dirtbags, or dirtbags that take advantage of.
It's community. It's community. Yeah, it is.
They recognize their own type, I guess, or something. I don't know, but
and Kim obviously was always pretty horrified at what Jimmy would settle for. You know, it's like his strip mall aesthetic.
Oh yeah,
on having an office. You know, back of the nail salon. Wim says howdy.
Oh hey,
so we got that much of an audience. Oh, yeah, I've got to, you know, mention real quick, we end up with a lot of post audiences. I think we.
Oh, really?
Let me look up how much we
I,
got our
I've
last
looked,
one.
like,
It was.
like 50 or 60 or something, or 45 or something like that.
Let me look. Let's have a quick look at some of our numbers last. Of course,
Yeah.
Dr. Mojo and You Only Live Mojo. That's last week. Summertime Mojo, was that yeah, that was it. Summertime Mojo 6 days ago. 170 views.
It's the
Wow.
oh my gosh.
170
Holy
views.
Cow, man.
Yeah.
That ain't bad.
Yeah.
That ain't bad.
Well, and it would be fun, if you get a little bit of a community and it's like, obviously you think towards money and such, but at the same time it's like, how should I refine this ability I have to do this?
That's the thing. It's like, I don't want to be like, hey,
buy this.
Super chat.
Yeah. Super chat time. Which obviously,
no, I mean,
the biggest guys out there delve deeply into those super chats. Michael Malice, Sticks Hexenhammer. I guess by the end of an hour and a half or so of that, you might have some bucks backed up. I guess.
We were during the pandemic. We watched a guy that literally would walk around New York City, and he did live streams.
Mm-hmm.
And he would always, the super chats would pop up, and I mean, you look, and he'd walk around for an hour, and at the end of it, he'd have $500 or $600.
Wow. Yeah.
It's like,
sure.
Good grief, man! I'd go walking every day with a camera if I get $500 or $600.
Sure, if you made $500, shooting the shit, you bet.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's not really something. I mean, This is still just you and me talking. You know, I don't really, Of course, it's yours. So if you got any cash, it would be your benefit.
Oh well, I mean, I'm not got any plateau anywhere close. I'm at least 2/3 away from even getting to where I'd get any ad revenue for it, and I'm not sure I've got it mechanically set up to where I've pushed the right amount of buttons to start getting money for something. If I had the numbers,
well,
I'd have to educate myself. The moment I hit 1,000, it's like,
right.
Now what do I do?
Well, that's the problem. At that point, it becomes work.
Yeah, well, no, I wouldn't work. I would always. I don't know. I don't know that about myself. It might be. I imagine it's a little scary because you can tell that these guys that would like to be just total rebels and tell people to kiss their butts every day, don't do it, because if they do, and they don't want to lose that channel, they don't want to lose that access. So Google's got that over them. It's always going to have that over any sort of speech. It's like, aha, so you think that, huh? You're gone.
Well, and
it might be something you think. It's like, hey, what happened to that voice of reason out there?
Well,
where'd they go?
This is like found. I mean, if you were to ever make money off of this, you would have to think of it as found money.
Yeah,
and it would be like, okay, but you couldn't budget. Oh, I'm gonna make, you sock it away. You know. I mean, my wife and I get a little bit of oil money from oil mineral rights, and you can never count, because the rig could break down, and you've gone from making X amount a month to making zip.
Yeah.
So you just take it and use it wisely.
Yeah.
You're grateful for the blessing, and you don't let it go to your head, certainly.
Yeah. Back on Better Call Saul, the last one is all gone, as in it's all gone. And so
Oh yeah.
for old
Oh,
Saul,
good,
to
man.
me, there can't be any way it ends other than just like Walter White. I think he checks out, and so it's like
Oh,
I saw some people being optimistic that Jimmy would somehow end on a high note, and I thought, because obviously he's got a lot of comic relief in him as well. But I don't see it. I think they'll go dark with him, and we'll have him die. What do you think?
I was optimistic until he started picking up the cons again.
Mm-hmm.
He can't. He will not. Even if, no matter what we see in the end of the show, he will not come to a good end. I don't care if we him and Kim ride off in the sunset. He cannot turn that down, and it's going to get him one way or the other.
Yeah, and Kim, she, seeing Howard gunned down and realized that would not have happened if I didn't give myself over to my collaborative dark side with Jimmy. That just nothing like that would have happened.
Well, I don't know. Howard was kind of asking for it, but
he may have been
Howard
asking for it, but what they set in motion that brought
they were jacking with it.
From the clips I've seen, there's a short, bald guy who fights like I do. Let's see. Are we talking about? Are you talking about Mike in Better Call Saul? I don't know. Wim just had a comment. It says, from the clips I've seen, does that refer to something else we were talking about? There's a short, bald guy that fights like I do.
Must be Mike.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, he.
Mike's pretty tough. Do you fight like Mike?
Oh yeah, he used to be a police guy. Well, I don't know if he fights like you do. One of Mike's big abilities is apparently to take a beating. He got this one guy arrested by just enduring a pretty gruesome beating. Yeah, he let him. So just go ahead and beat this ugly old face to bits.
Well, and he hadn't he punched a bunch of guys in the throat? I seem to recall that as being his go-to move.
Yeah, he does move in for the kill. There's no point to Mike other than the kill. Yeah.
Right, just you're getting just a vicious jab to the windpipe.
The deal is that I saw this guy that they're promoting him, and he obviously understands that this is a moment for him, and he's doing good interviews and being quite a personality. He's a big Filipino that helped. There was some guy in New York randomly punching people, and so he kind of like teamed up with another guy, and they went chasing behind him. But he's a MMA. He's a boxing instructor. He's got some judo background too. So basically, but I love the description of the fight. When he decided to take him out, he basically jumped on his back. That's one of the things you learn about, like basic to jiu-jitsu or anything like that. It's like, if you get somebody's back, they can't fight. They can't fight you. And so if you get the back, keep the back, because they can't do anything to you. And he said he got in seatbelt position, if you know what that is. And I think I do. I need to look it up. It's just basically where you put one leg, your shin is going flat across the belly, and then you hook your foot over your foot that's going across the belly. And that guy, he can't get that loose. He's going to have you on his back. So, let's see.
Yeah,
It
of
says
course,
I do
that
WW2 combatives, jujitsu, and really old school karate. Now that would probably appeal to Scott, old school karate. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, just straight down the pipe. Good karate punches will end a fight as quick as anything. Just pow. Just say, oh yeah, kapow.
Well, I was in Taekwondo until COVID, and it hadn't picked back up, and I don't know if it will because our instructors and I don't know that I'm up for it, to be honest with you.
You'd want to lose a little weight probably before you started, so you could get enjoy it more. You'd probably be having bad wind, getting back into it. You probably want to get yourself a little in shape.
Well, I think my endurance is okay, but yeah, moving, yeah, sure, yeah.
There's this guy that I'm going to start. I'm pretty good at making rules for myself and sticking with them on certain things and physical stuff that I'm doing. If I make a rule about it, I do it. I get my walk in. Oh, look at that panel. That guy's swinging that low fist. What is he up to there on that bottom right-hand panel?
He's got a cane, so he swings at the girl,
cool.
Dodges, and
he's just after her with that cane. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, he's just wailing on her with the cane. That's why I say we got this great fight sequence, and then the next page there's a little bit of the two of them kind of double teaming this guy and him holding his own against the two of them, and then all of a sudden Daredevil kind of charges him and takes his cane away from him, and they run off. And it's like, wait a minute, it just ends so unsatisfyingly. I mean, you want to see him? Why don't they arrest him or something? It's like, it's just a flat ending that I don't really care for. No, and if you're the writer, I'm sorry.
Well, that sort of stuff, that's almost true to its origins. Those old comic books give you kind of like a rote little formula, and it's like they don't care if they're epics or go anywhere with the character or anything.
Well, yeah, maybe, I guess.
Wim was talking about he says jump rope and yoga. I was about to mention this guy that I elliptical too. I'm not. Yeah, the elliptical. I think I know what that is.
Elliptical. I should do more on the. Well, I mean, we walk. My wife and I walk. We don't walk during the week because it's too hot and we have to be at work early. But like tomorrow, I'm going to go late and we're going to walk. And we will probably walk 3.5 miles. We've got a circuit that we do around the neighborhood. And we'll do 3.5 miles. Saturday, Friday, Saturday usually, but we're gonna do it in the morning tomorrow. Normally do it on Friday evenings, but
trying to get a little bit of cool out of the day. Huh?
Yeah, cool.
It's been nasty.
It's hard as it could be. It's been, and they're predicting that this winter's in some places is going to be glacially cold. I can't.
Well, I think we may have a really bad winter. This may just be all about spring loading, just how bad we're going to have it this winter.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean, it's been hot like 20 days. It's been over 120 days this year. They were saying on the news this morning.
Oh yeah, all of July I think was, I'm sure the average would be be over 100.
Yeah. What's funny though is that it's not the hottest on record. I mean, it's hot, but it's been hotter. But you kind of go, golly, don't bring that back.
Yeah. It just happens. It's July.
I think
we're over an hour. Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick about this guy I discovered on YouTube. He is he just has this little short, it's about 6 minutes long, on how to work on your balance. And it was so simple. I'll send you a link. And
Yeah,
maybe add the link in our little thing since I'm bringing it up. I might as well give people a link since I'm impressed by it. It's just like 3 little exercises while he's got 1 foot lifted up, where he's showing you that if you get the strength around the hips and everything, with these 3 different exercises, all of a sudden your balance just goes like, oh, hell yeah, I can do anything on 1 foot now. And you know how important that could be for working on your karate kick. It's like not skipping around, losing balance on 1 foot.
Well, and just your balance.
And yeah, not being challenged by picking the other foot up. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, I guess we're done. And that page is looking good. And Scott, I tell you what, know that you aren't going to make a penny on that. And congratulations for seeing it through, man.
Doing it anyway.
And getting it, and who knows, maybe getting it published, maybe somebody enjoying it,
Well, it's been fun to. I mean, I enjoy drawing comics, and I have people that talk to me about, oh, you should do this or that, and they'll. I mean, I've got to offer kind of semi on the table to do a series or do something. Somebody has approached me about doing something, and they're associated with a small company, and they just I want to do like fun stories. One of the things I like about Heaven's Rejects is it's just a lot of fun. It's a kind of a crazy thing. It's not really a superhero thing, but it's got a lot of fantasy, and there's action, and it's kind of a little over the top, and I like that. That's the kind of that's what I was telling somebody at work about it today, and I was like, oh yeah, someone's talking to me about doing this thing, but they, I kind of told them a little bit about some of the other stuff they did, and I'm like, I don't want to draw that. I want to draw something fun with like people punching people and action and action and kind of crazy stuff, Yeah. So
it's like that thing I did that I said, why am I doing this? About that dominatrix that helps people commit suicide. It's like, what the hell am I doing here? But that guy paid. That's why I was there. That guy paid like nobody's business. He was, whatever I say about him.
Yeah. Anyway.
As a creative thinker, he was ready to pay you for it. Your collaborative.
Well, that's something, but I don't.
Yeah.
But I mean, I got a good day job. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I mean, not anymore. I have to, certainly. Yeah. Anyway, okay, are we done?
Okay, we're done. 1 hour 7 minutes. We will end broadcast.
Thank you very much for joining us, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, Wim. That was good. You got to send our physical notions of how best to. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube that's really good for getting you going about maybe getting disciplined about taking care of yourself. Okay.
I watched some.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I watch a lot of videos on stretching. I mean, it's not like kung fu stretching. It's more like chiropractor kind of stretching.
Yeah. Well,
therapy kind of.
That's what's great about this guy that I'm going to send you a link to.
Yep, send it to me.
Wim says, keep cool. And that will be our note we end on. Keep cool, everybody.
Keep cool.